Aloha, friends, and welcome back. It's the beginning of February, and you can't miss it. The stores are just overflowing with heart-shaped candies, chocolate boxes, just wrapped in red ribbons, and aisles filled with Valentine's Day cards. So love is in the air. Or at least that's what all of the advertisements want us to believe. For many, this month stirs up feelings of romance, excitement, or maybe even longing. But what if, instead of fixating on the typical romantic Valentine's Day, you took this month as an opportunity to romance yourself? So, what if this year you chose to be your own Valentine? So, this month I am focusing each episode on cultivating love, from loving oneself to relationships. I have an inspiring conversation with a guest planned and a meditation to assist you in cultivating self love. So be sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of these upcoming episodes. But today we're diving into the art of self love. So let's go with the thought of I'm not worthy or I'm not good enough. I'll share insights and practical steps to assist you become your own best friend, your own Valentine, not just for a season, but for life. So stay tuned because this journey of self-discovery and self-love is one that you don't want to miss. Aloha! Welcome to the Radiate Health and Wellness podcast, where we explore the vibrant world of health and well-being. I'm your host, Christine D. Ross, a board-certified health and wellness coach specializing in behavior change and nutrition, and author of Discover the Adventure of You and Health Beings. Join me as we uncover inspiring stories, practical tips, and transformative insights to assist you on your journey to radiate health and wellness. So let's start with a story. Imagine you've been in a relationship with a new partner for like a few months now. Things seem to be getting serious, and one day your best friend asks you, do you love them? You pause. How do you know if you love them? You think about what you actually know about this person. What are their values, their dreams? What makes them light up? How do you feel when you're with them? Do they bring out the best in you? Do you feel safe, understood, and appreciated? So after evaluating, you ask the question, do I really love them? Now let's flip that script. Instead of evaluating a new relationship, ask yourself these same questions about yourself. Do you really know yourself? What are your passions, dreams, and beliefs? Are they really yours, or are they hand-me-downs from your parents or friends or past relationships? Do you like the life you're creating, or are you living by default? What is your self-talk? Do you talk to yourself with love? How do you show up for others? Do you honor yourself enough to stand up, own your voice, and not let others stomp on you? Or are you a people-pleasing, prioritizing everybody but yourself? To truly love yourself, you must first know yourself deeply, fully, and without judgment. Only then can you show up for yourself the way you would for a partner you truly cherish. So, how can you truly know yourself? So if you want to build a deep, loving relationship with yourself, think about it the same way you would any other meaningful relationship. So here are a few steps to get to know yourself, become your own best friend, and make self-love a lifelong romance. So first, spend quality time with yourself. Think about how you get to know someone you're dating. You spend time together. You ask them questions, listen to their stories, discuss beliefs. So how often do you do this with yourself? What if you set aside intentional time each day to check in? So this could be journaling, going for a solo walk, sitting with your thoughts without distraction with your morning cup of tea or coffee. Ask yourself questions. Self-discovery really just starts with curiosity. So here are just a few questions you may want to ask yourself. What truly excites me? If no one's opinion mattered, how would I live my life differently? What do I want to create, experience, or contribute in this lifetime? and then discern between conditioning and truth. Many of the things we believe about ourselves, what we should do, who we should be, how we should live, are actually ours. These shoulds come from family and society. So stop shitting on yourself and start questioning. Is this belief truly mine? Or is it something I was taught? Does this serve me or is it holding me back? Also, practice self-compassion. Would you judge a close friend for having flaws or making mistakes? Of course not. But how often do you criticize yourself? Speak to yourself with kindness. And when that self-doubt creeps in, counter it with self-love. Replace I'm not good enough with I am learning and growing. And instead of I should be further along, try I am exactly where I get to be. So, what does it mean to cultivate self love? So, self love isn't about just treating yourself with rose petals and a foot spa, a bath a day, whatever. And self love isn't about vanity or selfishness. It's about showing up for yourself in the same way you show up for those you love. It's about ensuring that your own cup is full. So when life storms come your way, you have the strength, the resilience to stand tall. Cultivating self love means just nurturing your well being, listening to your needs, and honoring your emotions so that you can show up for others from a place of fullness, not emptiness. So important to fill your own cup first. Before you can just truly love and care for others, you must first learn to love yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. Just as the safety instructions on an airplane remind you to put your own oxygen mask on before helping others, self love is essential to being able to offer genuine love and support. You can't give what you don't have. When you take the time to care for yourself, nourishing your body, mind, and soul, you become better equipped to show up for others, not out of obligation or expectation, but from a place of wholeness. This is the true essence of self love, filling your cup first so you can pour from it with generosity and grace. So, self love is not about loving your body. Many people think self love is about loving their body, but your body has gone through so many stages in life from toddler, adolescence, puberty, and now, whatever age that is you are today. It's always changing, evolving with time. But amidst all those changes, there's one part of you that's remained constant, your authentic self. That essence of who you truly are beyond the surface. Self love isn't about focusing on how your body looks at any given moment. It's about loving just that deeper part of you that has always been there. When you truly connect with and embrace that part of yourself, that's when you really truly become your own best friend. You start to treat yourself with just kindness and compassion. And in turn, your body will begin to just magically respond in just beautiful, powerful ways. Your body and mind are just intricately connected. When you shame or criticize yourself, your body absorbs that negativity. It reacts to the emotions that you're feeling and just often manifesting as tension, discomfort, or excess weight, or even illness. On the other hand, when you show yourself love, your body feels that too. It radiates that positive energy, and suddenly you feel lighter, more at ease, more aligned with who you really are. So, this brings up the importance of shame and self sabotage. One of the biggest obstacles to self love is shame. Shame whispers that you're not good enough. that you are unworthy, that you are somehow broken. It convinces you to shrink, to hide, to sabotage your happiness before someone else can take it from you. But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your worst day. You can learn from all of these, forgive yourself, and grow. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of stepping into the unknown. It's an attempt to protect yourself, but in reality, it keeps you stuck. Recognize these patterns, challenge your self talk. When you catch yourself engaging in negative self talk or destructive behaviors, pause. Ask yourself, who ever told me I was not good enough? Where did this thought story come from? What am I really afraid of? What would happen if I believed I was worthy? Have courage to rewrite your script and just change that inner dialogue. Also, surround yourself with supportive energy. Be aware of your surroundings. Are you in places and with people who just help you feel uplifted and supported? Or do you find yourself drained after spending time with them? You know, those vampires, maybe family or religious leaders that show up in your life, sucking all that energy and leaving you feeling drained. It's okay to release relationships that don't serve you. Love yourself enough to set boundaries, to choose people and spaces that fill your cup rather than deplete it. So that brings me to one last thing. Have the courage to say no when you really want to say no. And yes, when you really want to say yes. Stop doing the people pleasing dance, saying yes to what you think everyone else wants you to do. If you don't want to do something, love yourself enough to take a stand. Stomp your foot and say no. Self love isn't just about healing old wounds, it's also about how we care for ourselves daily in just the small, quiet moments. I was reminded of the importance to say no just last week after a storm knocked out power and left me without running water and horsepower. I found myself in the dark, unprepared in ways I hadn't expected. My stored drinking water had gone bad, I didn't have enough light, and at the same time, I had to make a choice. Push through and host a dinner party for 7 without electricity, running water, or honor my limits and choose ease. So I called my guests to let them know about the situation and gently suggested that they may want to cancel. Although they had power and water thanks to their solar panels, they insisted they were still happy to come over and enjoy dinner with me and my husband in the dark. So, despite the challenges of cooking without enough water to wash or cook properly, I decided to go ahead, do all the work anyway. So, at first, my instinct was to push through. I thought, I can handle this. I can make it work. I can still provide a nice dinner for my friends, despite the circumstances. But as I struggled to cook in the dim light, I accidentally cut myself. Just frustration set in. I paused. Why am I trying so hard? Who am I really trying to prove this to? I had placed so much pressure on myself to make everything work. But for what purpose? In that moment, I realized that I was pushing myself beyond what felt right, just to meet an expectation I had set. I got to choose something different. Instead of forcing myself through the exhaustion and frustration, I decided to honor my limits and let go of the idea of hosting a dinner party in the dark. So I called my friends back and canceled the dinner, choosing the easier route and deciding to nourish myself in the simplest ways. So instead of cooking for 7, I prepared just a simple meal for just my husband and me. So we just enjoyed a peaceful and beautiful evening together, just filled with love, laughter, and connection. In the quiet simplicity of that night, I realized that self-love is about listening to yourself and knowing when to pause, when to choose ease, and when to honor your limits. That night, I gave myself the gift of rest, and in return, I experienced a deeper sense of fulfillment and joy. Self-love is knowing when to rest instead of push. It's trusting that you are enough without having to overextend. It's allowing yourself the same care and compassion you so easily give to others. We prepare for the storms in life, both the ones outside our doors and the ones inside our hearts, by building a foundation of love, care, and respect for ourselves. Because when the chaos hits, when life shakes us, we need that strong, steady foundation to keep us standing. When I think about self-love, I think about the way just the palm trees bend in the storm. They don't stand rigid and resist the winds. They bend, they sway, and move with the chaos. And in doing so, they remain standing long after the storms pass. That's what self-love does for us. It makes us flexible, resilient, and unbreakable. There was a time when I thought I had to prove my worth to the world, that I had to be perfect to be accepted. But I've learned that true strength isn't in pushing through or proving yourself. It's in honoring yourself, taking care of yourself, loving yourself exactly as you are. Because when the storms come, and they always do, you won't just survive, you'll stand strong. The true power of self-love, when you fall in love with yourself, you stop looking for someone else to complete you. You realize that you are already whole. So this February, instead of waiting for love to come from someone else, give yourself the greatest gift: unapologetic, unwavering, unconditional love. Be your own Valentine today and every day after. So, my friends, this week I invite you to take time to truly love yourself. Make space to date yourself and discover how incredibly beautiful and unique you are. I challenge you to stand in front of a mirror, have that honest conversation with yourself, look into your eyes and say, I love you. Trust that wise voice inside and embrace the love you deserve for the incredible person you are. So, as always, I would love to hear about your journey to self-love. Do you have any self-talk or habits, or do you deserve some extra guidance? Please know I am here to support you every step of the way as your personal coach. So just please reach out to me by email at radiate.hw@gmail.com or through my website, radiatehealthandwellness.com, or connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, or leave a message below. And for more tools to support you on your journey, be sure to check out my books, Discover the Adventure of You and Health Beams. So both are available on Amazon as well as my website, radiatehealthandwellness.com. And if you know someone who could benefit from these messages on cultivating self-love, please share this episode with them. A simple act of sharing could offer the insight, peace, and transformation they've been seeking. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an upcoming episode. Remember, you know yourself better than anyone else. Trust your inner wisdom to guide you. At the end of the day, you are the creator of your own life. You have the power to shape how you respond to challenges, how you care for yourself, and how you show up in the world. So, take a deep breath. Tune into yourself. Give yourself just a big hug. Trust that you've got what it takes to handle whatever life throws your way, and radiate health and wellness in all that you do.